Lotto got tricked out her spot. My name is Naomi, and you're watching my channel, Saint to Siren. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because it's time to win. Now, I just want to say this video is not to bash Lotto. There's enough videos out there talking bad about her and breaking all the things down. But this video is to show what happens when you are popping your ish, you know you're the ish, and you got money and you're out here with motion. Okay, this is what happens when you are a siren. Siren is someone who's in control of their themselves, of their autonomy. People, men and women, your friends, your family, the man you're in love with are not going to like it. You are a public enemy because this is not in line with patriarchy. You have too much power, and it makes, if you're not a man, it makes others feel disempowered. They're going to come for you. Your friends, other women, they will attack your heart. They'll try to attack your confidence, right? They're trying to bring you down. They want to shut you up. Other men, or the man in your life, if he is not secure within himself, he's going to attack your emotion. He's going to want to make you pregnant, to then rely on him, to rely on other people so that he can slow you down. Now, fortunately, Lotto, she's a millionaire. She has her own money, so she won't have no problem with that. But for women of not that nature, who will have to rely on other people, it's very, very effective. For the women, you have to be careful because they'll go after your ex-man or your man at the time, right? They're trying to attack your heart. They're trying to attack your confidence. They'll try to be in competition with you. I had a best friend maybe about almost a decade ago now. And when I was not trying to improve myself, everything was good. We were like on the same level. But when I lost weight, when I started to go to school, when I started to not go to the club, right? I started to focus on money, start to focus on where I wanted to set myself up 5 years down the line. She became an enemy because I was doing what she did not want to do to improve, which takes a lot of work, which takes a lot of confidence. Okay. She was after my ex-men. She had sex with my ex-men. She would manipulate my relationships. When people were asking me questions, she would answer, right? Because she felt less than. Instead of being inspired, she wanted to stop me, but not even really, you're not even advancing you. And trust me, when you ask God that number one question, is this person right for me to be in my, and I asked God, I said, God, is Mary, not her name, is Mary good to still be my best friend? I asked that the night before. The next evening, literally within 24 hours, all right, she had told me just real relaxed and randomly, I'm Snapchatting your ex-boyfriend. And when I got off the phone from that conversation, I realized this is no longer a friend. This is an enemy. And I got to kick her to the curb. She got to kick rocks with no flip-flops because she has no confidence within herself. She sees me gaining confidence within myself, going after my dreams, and she is getting mad that I am doing what she will not do. And that's what happens when you are a siren. When you glow, when you talk your shit, when you pop your shit, when you out here, you get money and you're visibly elevating. It's that visible elevating. All that internal work that you're doing inside, it's going to change your environment. Because the environment changes when you internally changes. You do not wait until the environment change for you to change. It does not work like that. How you feel about yourself is what will be on the outside, is what will manifest on the outside. And when people see how you glow, and it's the people around you, your family, your lover, your friends, they're not going to like you. They will become enemies. They will try to stop you. They will try to embarrass you. And that is what Lotto has allowed 21 to do. What you also have to realize is like she disrespected herself. And by allowing him to disrespect her in like the worst way of not having any power. Marriage does not stop cheating. It does not stop, negative things from happening, but it gives you monetary power. It gives you rights. That's why you need to be married before you have a baby. You need to have access to his accounts. Obviously, he has access to yours, but there needs to be a financial liability so that you can be compensated and taken care of. She is in a very precarious, she put herself in a very precarious situation because she is pick me minded. I'll say allegedly for protection, but she's pick me minded because it has served her. Pick me is it goes hand in hand with patriarchy, right? Because it's male focused. Women who are pick me are very dangerous because they're not looking at the character of the man or the environment, the setup that the man is in, being married. They are just looking for the acceptance, the external validation. They have been giving a lot of external validation for what they look like. Conventionally beautiful woman with a loose hair texture, voluptuous. You get a lot of praise and a lot of acceptance out here being of that type. And so when you're focused on low body count, no body count, I don't have an ex-boyfriend you can reference me from. I got all this, you popping. The universe or people are going to conspire against you to make you eat your words. That's why you cannot be pick me. That's why you cannot serve patriarchy, especially since we are trained to have a prey mindset, a giving mindset, a subservient mindset, right? That's where we've been conditioned, right? You have to refrain from that type of mindset so you can read what's really going out here and you won't fall into the trap. Now, she has fallen into the trap of triangulation. I call it putting the man in the middle. Anytime you're in a relationship, whatever the title, you're involved with a man. If you put that man in the middle, as in he's involved with another woman, you are aware of him being involved with other women, and you want him to be yours, right? It's not a casual thing. It's not for fun. It's not like you're really getting anything out of it. You want this man to be yours, but he is serving himself to other women. You are putting him in the middle, and anyone in the middle can be an instigator. And he could be telling his wife one thing and obviously telling you another thing. And he is just siphoning all parties around. So when you get into a third party situation, you must be the one to get away. Either you're the one to get away, or there's something of value within that you are siphoning out of that situation. But in no way do you become chained to that situation. In no way do you enter a relationship or you enter a situation that is more permanent, like having a baby with that person, because now you have given up the power. Now that man in the middle, 21, is maneuvering and can treat you any way. And however a man initially treats you, whether he kept you to the side, off, whether he wasn't like with Lotto, like he is with Amber Rose, being very front and center. That's how it will always be. How it starts off is how it will always be. You have to read the situations. It's time to develop your comprehension so you know what it is. Let me tell you, the 21's third leg must be real good because she was very much going for him. And let's go into another thing. I don't care how juiced you are over a man, and I don't care how confident you feel in relation to that man. You never show that you're going for that man, because men don't like in this patriarchy world, men don't like to be chosen. They want to choose. And value is established by how um, easily you are going for them. She needed to be very reserved. I don't care how much she liked 21. She needed to be very reserved. She needed to stand 10 toes down. Hey, you're married? Well, honey, you can't. This isn't going anywhere because you're married. I don't care if it was for a green card or if it is for real, because they did have 3 children. You cannot, you're giving your power away, and you're allowing the energy to like be fleeced off you. She was very going for him for 21. She was very like just, and when you give someone that power, they just gonna flip flop you any old way, and you're not special to yourself. You're not special anymore because you're not special to yourself. The reason why high major brands, Chanel, Bentley, whatever, they're very sought after because they're not accessible to everyone. And that is the same way you have to look at yourself. You can't be accessible. I don't care how great this man is or how much you have yearning for him. You restraint, because you need to watch how they move and how they feel about you without your input. See where they rather be. So let them be who they are. So you see where they rather be. So you see if that is a good fit. Let Lotto's situation, this case study, be a cautionary tale of how not to move. She had everything going. It's that freedom. It's that autonomy. People will come after you. They want to humble you. They want to stop you because you have so much power. She could have been with any man. Could have been with any man, but you chose to get locked down, stuck with a man who's married, marked. You got a tattoo, marked. I don't care what the man is telling you. When you are a siren, when you are really popping and when you got it out here, they're not gonna like you. When you are elevating to a new level, you have to let go of those devils. And that will be the people that are most around you because they have the access. When I was finally started to put in the work and lock in, I had to let go of everybody. And it's more so letting go of your old habits. I used to love to go to the club rap, just a lot of things. I was quite plump. I was like, oh, I got to get rid of this weight. There's a lot of things I got to do so I can become lighter. So my elevation to where I want to see myself in the next 5-10 years can happen. I gotta create room by letting old stuff go that does not serve me, that actually hates me. When I opened my eyes, I saw a lot of people that did not like me. I realized, I was like, oh, I'm in hell. I am in hell. I was just breaking this down to somebody a couple nights ago. I am in hell. I was coming across the same people with different faces. I was coming across the same people with those people. I was sorry, I cannot talk. I was thinking I was making new friends, but they had the same spirit, is what I'm trying to say. And I was like, because I'm on a level, I'm not developing myself, and I'm stuck on this level. I gotta get out of here. Also, Lotto is a very dangerous place because while I did explain, not forming a triangulation with a man who is involved with someone else, not forming a man in the middle, because that man can be an instigator and he will never have your interest in heart. And trust me, if a man can like you and somebody else, he doesn't like either of you. I want to make that very clear, Siren. If a man can like you and love you, but love somebody else, he doesn't like either of you. He just loves himself and he's enjoying the attention and the energy he's siphoning. But what makes Lotto, I just want to move to the next step, what makes Lotto to be in a very precarious state is that 21 isn't the one with all that, with the power, really. I just wanted to break down that one dynamic, but It's his wife who she is under. It goes his wife, 21, then Lotto. Because if his wife has access to finances, she has control over him. That's why she liked her post. That was so scary when I saw that. I was like, oh, she's owned. Lotto is owned. That wife is going to tell him what to do. Because if that green card issue is really what it is, he married her for the green card, she has control. And Lotto will never be respected. First, because she disrespected herself being in such a precarious situation, knowing. But second, you're never going to get the man that you're never going to get the respect that you should have from that man. So, in a very, very precarious, disrespectful situation, I'll tell you an anecdote story, a real story. In my early 20s, I had like this guy. Anyway, he had lived in a roommate situation. One of his roommates was a female, was the only female roommate, and she had got the house that him, her, and another male roommate were living in. And this was before I could read, so forgive me. I was slow. Come to find out, which I didn't know until after we were intimate, but he was intimate with her too, right? So again, triangulation, a three, or it could be multiple situation where the man is in the middle. But I realized, I was like, oh, again, he's being intimate with me. He's being intimate with her. He don't like either of us. And the first one to leave will pull on the situation. The first one to leave will make him look her way because she's gone, and he will not be satisfied with the option that is begging, that is pleading, that is paying for him to stay. And a lot of times, a good siphon, when you set it up, a good siphon is not going to happen right away. It will happen some years or some time down the line. And I knew this because during that time, I started to be able to read the situation. So remember, losing is never a loss. When you leave a situation that does not serve you, it's never a loss. It's protection. So of course I left. Of course he's looking my way. Of course, why do you why do you want someone that is spaghetti when steak just left the door? Anyway, and I realized she wanted this man so bad. This man that she was paying house and home for. She wanted this man so bad. I was like, he doesn't even like either of us, boo, but you can have him. What happened? Impregnated, and she decided to keep it because what I heard in the grapevine was that she, had aborted it, which was very smart of her, but she kept it this time because she wanted that man in her life so bad. Also, I think her friends were also getting pregnant, but they was getting married. But anyway, so probably she felt some society pressure. Maybe she felt like, oh, this is time. But if you don't have no ring, again, exposed. So anyway, she's pregnant. I was hanging out at a mutual friend's house, and not mutual friend's house, but I was hanging out with people that one of her best friends also came over. Like, we're all kind of like mutuals. And I just dropped a line. I was like, oh, he's the first one to look at my story all the time. I knew that friend was going to go straight to her and tell her. And then I heard down the grapevine that she screamed that she was so mad. And I just had to laugh and enjoy pulling that enjoy pulling that energy. I enjoyed it. I was like, oh yeah. Because she was rude, she was mean to me. She was a hater. And I was like, you know what? You can be all that things because at the end of the day, I won. Why? Because I left a situation where the man didn't like either of us, sis. And guess what, sis? He still don't like you. But it's already too late. You're forever tapped in. Anyway, I just want to reiterate. You have to be very mindful of the situations you go into. And if that man is entertaining you and another woman he married or whatever, he has another baby mama, and they are, you find out that they are still intimate and all this, get out of there. And especially if you have feelings, right? Now, if you're casual, relaxed about it, you don't care, you maintain the power. But if you are overly going, you really like this man, you find yourself that you're like fighting for his attention, leave. Because he doesn't like you. And guess what? He doesn't like her either. 21 doesn't like Lotto and doesn't like his wife either. He doesn't like any of them. The only way you know if a man really likes you is if he's only focused on you. She's in a very precarious, just let this be a very case study. When you're popping your stuff, you're going to attract everybody, and you're going to attract people who also don't like you. So it is up to you to be aware of when people do things to show that they're an enemy. Especially for women, they're going to try to come for your confidence. They're going to try, and they'll most likely just come after your ex-man to provide, so they can have some type of dominance, so they can feel better than you. That's what my ex best friend was trying to do. She felt very low. She had very low self-confidence. Also, she was a bigger woman. So that also, and she was a darker complexion. And let's just be real, that plays a part in our self-confidence with society. You got to be a real strong bitch to fight against that notion. You got to look in yourself and say, I am beautiful and I will go where I am loved. Instead of looking at the next person saying, let me tear you down so you can feel just as terrible as me. Remember, men will come after your autonomy. They will come after your emotion. They want to slow you down. They want to stop you. And the best way to do it is to get you impregnated so that you can sit down and shut up. And don't let there be a woman, don't let the other woman he's triangulating you with, or other women he has, have some type of already stead for stability or marriage in his life, because they will be number one. They have a power. One, he's on number one, but in actuality, in this 21 situation, she's number one, he's number two, Lotto is number three, four, five, six, seven, 100th off to the side. And I'm just saying, like, the ex-wife likes your post that you made. That is very scary. That is very scary. Plans are being made. You are going to be dragged. Dragged. This is not going to be good. It is going to get very ugly. I am wondering how her album rollout will be, because she's definitely getting siphoned because of all that, all of her popping and talking that she was doing. Now you got to eat your words. You just being you're just being humiliated, like tomato tomato tomato, like haha, see what happens when you try to pop your stuff too much. Sit down and shut up. That this main case study was just to show you, when you're out here, you're confident and you have your money, they're going to come after you. When you elevate, you gotta leave friends alone, because they will become enemies. They want to drag you down. If you're gonna elevate, you gotta become light. You gotta let go of the bags. Don't ever feel bad from disconnecting from someone because you are trying to get into another spot. You cannot get different results if you are doing the same motions. So, a cautionary tale.